It's a widespread misconception that people are either wealthy or not. Contrarily, there are various classes of wealthy individuals with a variety of traits and lifestyles. There are well-known celebrities who were able to amass their money by using their talents. In addition, there are wealthy individuals who, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates, have achieved success through hard work, innovative thought, and technology. Finally, several families, including the Koch, Mars, and Walton, amassed enormous fortunes through family enterprises and investments. The Rothschilds are another group. They belong in a different category, and no one even matches their enormous fortune. Their enormous wealth has motivated thousands of conspiracy theorists who believe strongly that the Rothschilds are the ones in charge of the world. Hello and welcome to Lexio. In this video, we'll go back ages to see how it all started and how it is today with the world's richest family. But before we begin, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on more of our incredible videos. The Rothschild family wasn't always in an opulent, prosperous environment. Their narrative began in obscurity during the Middle Ages when they resided in Frankfurt, Germany's Jewish neighborhood. Their ancestral residence is where the family name originates. Symbols were used above doors instead of numbers to identify residences back then. The House of Rothschild had a red shield that read Rothschild in German using the original spelling. The Crown Prince Wilhelm of Hesse employed Mayor Amschel Rothschild, the patriarch of the Rothschild family, in 1769. When the young prince assumed power in 1785, he hired Mayor, a courtier, to oversee the kingdom's finances. Even though today such a position would be extremely offensive, at the time it was one of the highest honors a Jew could receive in Catholic-dominated Europe. Every affluent aristocrat had a court Jew who was in charge of looking after their finances. The majority of aristocracy possessed the moral sense of a drunken chimpanzee in a brothel, although the Bible outlawed lending money in exchange for profit. They had to maintain their God-obeying persona or risk losing their peers' respect and their lands and fortune. Many Jews, including the Rothschild family, saw this as an opportunity to amass enormous wealth. Mayer immediately opened a bank and sent his son Nathan to London with the money he earned. During the Napoleonic Wars, this assisted Mayer in transferring Wilhelm's riches to London and even provided funding for the British to battle. The other four sons of Mayer created new banks in Paris, Naples, and Vienna following the Napoleonic Wars. They mostly assisted the aristocracy during their financial difficulties. In times of war, or when entire countries were on the point of bankruptcy, they lent enormous sums of money to the nations where they had access to cash in exchange for their hefty interest rates. So it turned out that Rothschilds were financing and making money off of every war fought in Europe during the 19th century. And believe me, there was no lack. In my honest opinion, sponsoring both parties in a battle that results in destruction and suffering does not fit the definition of ethics. Yet, the outcome is indisputable. Today, there are many misconceptions about the enormous Rothschild fortune, as there are stars in the sky. According to some sources, the richest family has about $500 trillion in the US. However, given that the total amount of global capital is thought to be between 1 and 2 quadrillion, that is not only difficult to believe, but also practically impossible. So, it is absolutely insane for one family to possess between 25 and 50% of the world's wealth. The majority of sources put their worth between $500 billion and $1 trillion. That's around 2 to 4 times more than the next richest person, Elon Musk. Although the Rothschild family's banks are the main source of wealth, over time they have also diversified into other industries like mining, transportation, real estate, art, and stocks. They hold a small stake in the Suez Canal, and according to legends, they owned 30% of all the world's biggest banks. The Rothschilds won't be moving under the bridge anytime soon, though I greatly suspect the latter. The lifestyle of the Rothschild family is cloaked in secrecy. They are excellent at concealing both their private lives and their genuine wealth, which may be larger than the entire Southern Hemisphere put together. Nevertheless, occasionally we catch a glimpse of the lavish life they lead in private. The Rothschilds, in contrast to many pop stars, don't waste their cash on showy, ostentatious objects with little long-term potential. The purpose of the majority of their purchases is almost always to increase their wealth over time. They are one of the major donors to art museums across the world and have a sizable art collection. For instance, among many other things, they donated the 4th century Lycurgus cup valued at $40,000 to the British Museum while the Nazis were occupying France. As Hitler personally visited the Rothschild estates to select his favorite pieces, around 3,500 items of art were confiscated. The majority of the artwork was returned after the war, but some pieces have never been located. The Rothschild family owns a sizable amount of gold globally. They own shares in gold mines in addition to the precious metal itself. They don't have golden vehicles or AK-47s though, unlike some lavish narco bosses' kids. Instead, they have gold bars. There are a ton of them. Jacob Rothschild recently traded huge sums of British pounds and dollars for gold, which many financial analysts interpreted as problematic for the Western economies. Currently, gold makes up around 8% of Jacob's assets. The Rothschild family owns houses, estates, chateaus, and villas from the United States to Israel, making their real estate portfolio one of the largest in the world. Any royal family would be envious of their possessions. In Buckinghamshire alone, they have around 13 luxurious manors. Each one is worth considering more than $10 million. Their most prized possession, Waddesdon Manor, is accessible to the public. Over 450,000 people come to this opulent house to get a taste of the lifestyle and class of the Rothschild family. The family is thought to own property worldwide valued at $20 to $25 billion. Recently, the family in Austria sold the land the size of Manhattan for a cool $112 million. Of course, not all luxury purchases qualify as investments. Nathaniel Rothschild, for instance, spent almost $100 million on a super yacht. The Planet 9, as the yacht is known, has a crew of 26 people and can seat 16 guests. The big ship is propelled by 2 Caterpillar engines at up to 16 knots. For visitors to arrive and depart at their convenience, the boat also features a helicopter deck. Nathaniel is the proud owner of a luxury private plane that costs more than $60 million. One of the most expensive aircraft on the market, the Bombardier Global 6000, can carry up to 14 passengers in the lap of luxury. However, Nathaniel's acquisitions pale in comparison to those of his extravagant great-grand-uncle. Walter Rothschild is still among the most frugal Rothschilds today. He spent a fortune buying exotic animals due to his enthusiasm for zoology, such as an enormous tortoise, several birds, and even zebras. 3 zebras were trained by the eccentric billionaire to pull his carriage across London. Walter built the largest specimen collection the world has ever known. He offered the American Museum of Natural History in New York his collection of birds. The remainder of his incredible collection was also given to the Natural History Museum in the latter years following his passing. The Rothschilds are most well known for their involvement in conspiracies dating back to the 18th century, much before Walter did. Numerous anti-Semitic beliefs during that time were fueled by their enormous riches. The family is linked to the Illuminati, the New World Order, the 5-dimensional lizards that rule the planet, and countless more ridiculous notions, much like how Jews controlled the world's money. The Rothschilds are actually just a large family of wealthy individuals who choose to live luxurious lifestyles in private and strive to avoid the curiosity of the general public. What are some of the most mind-blowing facts that you know about the Rothschilds? Share them in the comments below. As always, Thank you for supporting us. If you enjoy seeing videos like this, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and valuable content. We'll see you in the next video.